Hey guys, it's Rich. Hey guys, it's Rich. Today we're gonna share a real brief. Yeah, what province? Man, broke my signage. 3 today. Bringing you another. Guys, thanks for watching this too. Hey guys, Rideshare Rich coming to you with a pro tip here on that deactivation. Every driver's gonna face at some point or another. Today I want to focus on the my driver was high, you know, their car smelled like weed deal, especially in the western states where weed is fully recreationally legal, and some other states. Also, there's, you know, a lot of states that are medicinally legal. You're going to occasionally get folks in your car who smell like weed. We got folks, you know, all over in the western states who work at grow houses, and they reek of it. First off, real pro tip, man, just go out and buy a bottle of Ozium. I mean, this thing's lasted me 6 months and I spray it all the time. It's also, I mean, the history of Ozium, I looked it up. It was developed first to use in hospitals to kill germs. And it doesn't, you know, it's got a little, it's not the greatest smell when you, you know, initially, you know, spray it, but it neutralizes odor and goes away within like 5-10 minutes. Works great. I have personally never had a weed claim. You know, my driver smelled like weed, false deactivation claim in 15,000 plus rides. But it happens all the time. We all see the posts. So let me give you a few pro tips. You can do this on both Uber and Lyft. But the big thing to do is if you do get a weed stinker, and again, this isn't a panacea. It's not going to prevent everything. I mean, there's a couple of things you need to be doing. First, make sure you got a dash cam, internal and external. Not to share the footage per se to Uber and Lyft, because they don't look at that shit, guys. I mean, unless it's a serious claim, you know, like, you know, a rider claims a sexual assault or violence or something like that, then they may take a peek at it. But for the nuisance shit, you're typically just deactivated automatically through their system when that claim comes through. But here's some ways to protect yourself. Here's what I do. Okay, if I get folks who reek of weed, if they're super cool, you know, I give them a 5-star, and then I go back through the app and I click on that trip and I reach out to Uber so it's documented in their system, and they have at least 15 documentations from me, both Uber and Lyft. When I reach out, rider was a nice person, but they reeked of cannabis, which, although it's legal in my state, it nauseates me and makes me sick. I had to stop taking rides for 20 minutes, air out the car. I almost threw up. Send them that stuff all the time so it's in the system. So when you do get one of these, guys, I've sent you numerous records. They keep a queue, at least Uber does, of every rider call. That's another reason they're never going to make any real money. There's so much data storage involved, dealing with drivers and their nuisance calls about how, hey, I didn't get paid my cancellation fee, or you took the last ride out of my $3 Quest and it didn't show up. All that stuff gets stored. I'm convinced of that. Moreover, I mean, that like the drivers who claim, you know, cleanup fees all the time, all that's stored, and that's why these companies, you know, had to crack down, especially Lyft. I mean, it's like pulling teeth to get any money out of them. And from what I've seen over the last year, they're literally only going to pay you what the cleanup costs. I mean, unless you do it yourself and you like cleaning up vomit and other stuff in cars. But other than that, they want an itemized receipt now for everything. Uber usually will send you like $15 to $40 depending on that. But get it documented. Yes, it takes a little time. Pull over. Now, if they're assholes who smoke weed and you don't want them in your car again, obviously just rate 3 stars or less. I have a sort of an absolute rating system. You either get 5 stars from me or 1 star if you're a complete asshole. There's really no in between. And part of the reason is just, especially with, you know, Lyft, everyone, you know, we thought they did us a solid by ratings can't be made after 24 hours. So if you want to be one of those people who goes in at 23 hours and rates them 1 star because they didn't tip you or whatever, the likelihood of having them re-rate you within that last hour is pretty unlikely, because they're not looking at their Uber and Lyft rider apps all the time. Now with Uber, it's a lot different. I mean, it pops up right in their app what their rating is when they're about to request a ride, and they know who their last driver was. All right, you get 5 seconds to rate them in their app. Well, technically you get a little longer. You get it until you accept the next ride, or until you close out the app. Like I said, I use 2 phones. I'll keep that out if it's a dick ride and I'm done anyway, and I'll keep it out so the rating's open. It'll usually stay open for like 10 hours on your phone if you don't close your phone out, and then keep checking your ratings on the other phone and see if you get any negative comments or anything. Just, give them the retaliatory 1 star. But on Uber, it's really difficult because, I mean, they have up to 6 months to go back in and claim, hey, this guy smelled like weed, he was speeding, he got in a car accident, he wasn't wearing a mask. And Uber takes that. If you don't know, Uber will never remove any rating whatsoever. If a rider pulls a gun on you or vomits on you and you give them 1 star and they give you 1 star, that rating will never be removed until it cycles through the queue and you get 500 new ratings that come through. So that's why it's it's a little tougher to keep your rating higher on Uber than Lyft. But you got to submit through the apps. You got to take the time and submit stuff to get it on the record. Because if you don't, then it's just like, no, I mean, this was reported. The other thing, man, get that cover. It's in the Kickback app under Rideshare Insurance. Dirt cheap, first month's free. They help fight the false deactivations. They'll pay you out up to 80% of your weekly earnings for, I believe, up to 2 weeks while they fight the deactivation. You can relax, go home, smoke a bowl, smell like weed at home. Get out there, stay positive, stay safe, and be funny, make money, guys.